Hello everyone, how are you today? I am bringing you an interesting video today. What we have here is Monero possibly being used to clean dirty Bitcoin. I'm just going to get right to the point on this. There's no need to do a build up. If you take a look at the charts here, first thing, look at these. This is Monero going up in price, and then when Bitcoin is going down, first of all, the question is, how is that even happening? With Bitcoin going down in price, usually the whole market will go down in price. Everything goes off Bitcoin. And here we have Monero actually going up to a parabolic level that it did. Now, I know they've had a new release recently, but still, Bitcoin is going down and still as of right now, going down. And Monero just parabolically goes up. Now, look at the dominance. These are all the dominance right here. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the dominance. Notice that as soon as the Bitcoin starts to drop, that is when Monero, XMR's Monero starts to go up. So from the layman terms, what I'm thinking is, what I'm basically thinking with this is that stolen Bitcoin that was not able to be used because it could be tracked, so they were holding on to it. So you have, Mt. Gox is potentially, I believe, 22 billion today. So you have $22 billion in stolen Bitcoin, but you can't get to it, you can't use it, and you really can't do anything with it because everything in Bitcoin is tracked. Now you have Monero, which gives you the ability to, I guess, essentially clean the Bitcoin. I don't know the details of this. This was brought up to me by another user, and I happened to just realize the potential of this, and I'm going to go ahead and do a video on it. So what I believe they would do, someone can go ahead and comment on the details of this, but in layman's terms would be, is that they're using, I guess it's the atomic swaps, and they are converting the dirty stolen Bitcoin into Monero. That's why when BTC drops, which also, okay, they've taken out potentially 22 or more billion dollars of BTC. I believe is what happens when they've done this. So they basically are selling off at least, and I don't know that 22 is the number. I don't know that these are the Mt. Gox people that have done this, or if this is someone else, or what this is, honestly. These could be whales, I guess, with BTC doing this. I guess you can manipulate the market theoretically. If you just had a lot of BTC and then you just went and put it in Monero, you would raise Monero, lower BTC. Which, if you had other funds, you could long Monero and short BTC while you did that. So, okay, so also the hackers with stolen money in a way to clean the money could do this. So this kind of creates a wrinkle in the market. As BTC is going down, this is when Monero is going up. And let's actually look at the chart here. Now, this is just an amazing chart right here. As BTC goes on this dip that we're seeing, Monero goes on a parabolic run. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. The last little bit of evidence would be this, which the user that is stating this is saying this confirms it. And what this is the last line of this is interesting. An issue where ASB Bitcoin withdrawn can be done to an address on the wrong network. A network check was added that compares the wallet's network against the network of the given address when building the transaction. So, again, in layman terms, I actually don't know what that means, but I am just smart enough to understand that I believe they are doing this so they can't trace either where the Bitcoin that they converted came from and probably also where it went to. They probably would have used this twice to where they don't know where it came from and they don't know where it went. So then these people potentially have now deleted their trail and erased their trail. So then what that further goes on to mean is that there's now $22 billion or more or less in newly cleaned Bitcoin that can be used to affect the market in a way, I would say. So there's multiple things. There's when this happened, these people, you know, could have obviously longed Monero and shorted Bitcoin. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that to you and look at potential peculiar swings in the market because we may have a new liquidity pool. And notice that they did this on the weekend. They did this on a long weekend. And also on Monday, the UK is closed as well as the US. So this is a very unique situation. And I don't know if they did this move and then they're just going to take this money out, like maybe move to a country to where they could do this, move to a safe haven, and go ahead and put it in an account somehow. And being in the safe haven and then being clean Bitcoin might potentially think they could just have a huge bank account. Another thing they could do is not take it all out because I mean that would be a bit obvious, but maybe take enough out. Like I mean, if you have 22 billion and I don't even know how much they increased it here, or if they just converted it. This might just be the conversion. They turned Bitcoin into Monero. So this might simply be just the cleaning process. You're reducing, you had Bitcoin, you've exchanged it to Monero, you've then reduced the Bitcoin amount in circulation, but you've obviously increased the Monero. So they might have just cleaned it and they're looking for a way out. And there might not be anything in the market. I mean, they might, if you have this amount of money, for one, you could just take that money and then use it in the market and just to play around. I mean, so anyway, we're gonna go ahead and I just wanted to bring that to people's attention. And if you look into this, you're gonna start seeing this. You're gonna start getting the goosebumps. I got the goosebumps, and it's like I could keep this to myself and kind of trade off this. I don't know the technique they're using because they could do different things. They now have Monero. They could switch it back to BTC. They could do half and half. They could put money all into the market. They could do so many things because basically, essentially, they just have. Let's just say it is 22 billion. 22 billion in clean Bitcoin, or potentially Monero. Monero, I guess it honestly hasn't dropped that much. But at the same time, it has dropped about 50%. So it makes me think, did maybe they remove some of the Bitcoin, but not enough to crash Monero? Because as Bitcoin dropped, it went up. But now on this drop, it dropped with it a good amount. So anyway, we're going to leave that out there. Call it a conspiracy. Call it whatever you want. You saw the information. And I just want to ask you, what coin went up? Has this even ever happened in the whole history of Bitcoin? Other than this little low cap coins that are worth 0.000000038, okay, what coin has went up 26% when Bitcoin has dropped 8% right there? I mean, just from right there. I mean, if you look at that, it seems like it's right there, but they kind of mimicked it. The real sneaky trick is that they went up with Bitcoin and then didn't go down with Bitcoin. So they tried to mask it and make it seem like they were on a run. And then all of a sudden Bitcoin drops. And then, this just speaks for itself right here. So we'll go ahead and cut that one down. That's the video there. And do the investigating. One thing I will direct you to is that on the Pattern Watchers Discord from Traders Reality, Pattern Watchers Discord, and then the off-topic chat. This is the bottom of it right now. And if you just scroll up a little bit, you will get to where we got into this last night. This person brought it to our attention, and I was like, you can call it a conspiracy, but when it's backed by so much evidence, I just don't know what to say. So we went over that, and I did mention, man, imagine if someone scrolls up on this conversation because, like the one guy and then 3 or 4 other people that were like, wow, kind of like, and he sums it up at the end. He does this paragraph where he sums it up. We'll kind of leave this here on the screen. He's talking about the comparisons at the same time that XMR Bitcoin dropped, when the same time that XMR hit its all-time high. He goes into the mechanisms of the Monero, how it's 1-to-1 scarce to the US dollar, all that. That's relatively technical for the beginner. Then he goes into this, which, I mean, it was really late when I saw this, but they had to dump the BTC to prevent Monero and milk the printed dollars. They also like to flip ETH after spiking BTC. On the 28th of May, Monero released their atomic swaps, which allow users to connect between Monero and BTC. BTC used to be used on the dark web, and for criminal purposes, it would be smart to convert their BTC to Monero and back also any stolen BTC. This is to wash their BTC. One BTC does not equal one BTC because of transaction history. However, one XMR equals one XMR due to its fungibility. Hence, why there's incentive to do this. This alongside the short and long ratios on both BTC, and that was the ratio of the one page. XMR would allow anyone to exchange BTC and XMR, cleaning their tainted BTC while wrecking shorts on XMR/BTC, building up longs, allowing the entity to build up positions without needing KYC. That's my point of how they could affect the market and do all kind of sorts of things that they'd want to do. And this confirms it. I believe we did show that on this video. He goes on to a conclusion of the atomic swaps. I'm not going to read this, but this is here on your screen. You could pause that and read that. So we have a situation with the Monero. And yeah, I mean, that's the video. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. I just wanted to be short. I think you understand the point of that. If you want to see some of that information, there's a couple more pages. That is the Pattern Watchers from the Traders Reality Discord. That's free to join. And then go to the off topic and then look at that info. I mean, if you just look at this chart right here, this does not make any sense. BTC, this is pretty obvious that would happen. We can say conspiracy, but we pretty much know. And the other thing is that now with this new money in the market can do really weird things that you don't expect. That's kind of my main point now, is that we have the market maker in the weekend where we kind of, they could dump or they could pump or they could do whatever. Now we have another little wrinkle that can really just do some stuff that we have just never seen before. We're going to go ahead and end the video there. You guys have a good day. We'll see you in the next one.